Good evening, everyone. I'm Rabbi Isserow. I have the privilege of serving as the president of the JCC for the past 2 years. In our tradition, we speak about Kehillah, sacred community. But Kehillah is not defined by bricks and mortar of a building. It is defined by the breath and spirit of the people within it. Looking around this room, I see the faces of those who have made the Pozez JCC more than just a destination. You have made it a connector, a place where generations meet, where heritage is celebrated, and where the values of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, are put into active practice every day. Our program tonight reflects the many layers of partnership that sustain us, including a Devar Torah delivered by Rabbi Warner Faratier, and greetings from our partners at Federation. We will hear a mix of reflections from our senior leadership on the year's strategic activities, present awards honoring individuals whose extraordinary service has shaped our community, conduct the election installation of the financial year in 2027 officers and board of directors, and finally conclude by celebrating our staff milestones, expressing our deepest gratitude to the dedicated professionals who bring our mission to life every day. We'll begin our evening with the Devar Torah, a short teaching that connects the personal experience to the world around us. It is my pleasure to welcome and introduce you to Rabbi Warner Faratier, Congregation Beth Emet, to offer his words of
Thank you so much for inviting me here this evening. This week's Torah portion is Naso, which is infamous to those who know it because it is the longest Torah portion in the Torah. And I always feel a little bit sorry for the bar and bat mitzvah students that end up having to recite all of it. Although at least it does have the ease of being quite repetitive. And it's that actual repetitiveness that I wanted to bring up this evening, because the repetitiveness is about the gifts that the tribes gave to the community. It's an exhaustive list, and much like when people say their thank yous at the Oscars, it goes on and on, much past the time when we wish the orchestra would start ushering them off the stage. But of course, it's important to acknowledge all of those gifts, because we would never want gift givers to think that we were ungrateful. And I think that that's pretty important when we're talking about the JCC as a concept, and this JCC in particular, because JCCs are themselves a gift. Yes, there are membership fees, but we couldn't exist or have JCCs without lots of generous donations. And the JCC serves a really important purpose. I'm a little bit biased. My sister used to be the executive director of a JCC, and so she's quite passionate. And so when I asked if she had anything that I should convey, she said, yes, remind everyone that JCCs were founded to be a safe place for Jews to do all the things you wouldn't necessarily want to do in front of your rabbi or at a synagogue. And she's absolutely right. But then she said, because she was the executive director at a JCC in the Deep South, and that JCCs were formed to be a place where anyone can come to feel safe. In an era where the traditional Jewish institutions often find themselves struggling, and in a time when we find ourselves pushed more and more out of public life, institutions like the JCC become more and more essential. So we need to acknowledge the people that make JCCs a reality and not just a possibility in our communities. And we also need to recognize that the JCC itself is a gift that we want to keep on giving. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. I'm sorry to have spoiled your opportunity to do things that you wouldn't do in front of your rabbi by becoming the president of the JCC. The Jewish Federation of Greater Washington is a vital partner in our shared mission to build, strengthen, and sustain a thriving Jewish community here in Northern Virginia and throughout the DMV. To achieve this, the Federation mobilizes community builders and partner organizations, including our JCC, to identify and develop solutions to our community's greatest individual and collective needs, both now and in the future. Here at the J, we benefit greatly from their partnership. In addition to generous operating support and the community-wide J Shield Security Initiative, Federation provides crucial programmatic funding for initiatives like J Family Ambassador Program, the JCC Jaffe Shiri Rachamim Shlichut Program, and the Coming of Age programs for our older adults, amongst others. We are deeply grateful for the breadth and depth of their efforts to support our community and for their outstanding leadership, partnership, and ongoing support. This evening, we are delighted to welcome Gil Bruce, the Federation's Chief Executive Officer, to share a few words. Gil?
So some people are worried about following one rabbi. I have to follow two rabbis. It doesn't seem fair. So I can't say everyone, but Vanessa, where are you?
I'm here.
So if you don't know Vanessa, first of all, Vanessa Sachs, who works at Federation. You should get to know her. She's leading our work in Northern Virginia. So make sure you say hello to her and you connect with her. I want to start off really by talking a little bit about this incredible partnership that we have. Ever since I got to my role at the Federation, Jeff and I have been working incredibly closely together, and really as we think about the challenges that we face, really the evolving challenges that we face, there's been no better partner that we've had at Federation than Jeff Dannick. So I just wanted to say thank you to you and everything that you've done over these past many years at the JCC. When we think about the world that we live in today, it's not easy, right? When people say, how are you doing? Like, how do you answer? And my typical answer is, well, the smaller the circle gets, the better I'm doing, right? So if we just talk about my most nuclear family, things are great. And as we get further and further, things, not so good. And we can do that as individuals. We can shape the size of our personal communities. But the reality is we live in much larger contexts. We live in a context that is shaped by our region, our country, our world. And that creates different dynamics and stressors and helps define who we are and how we go through our daily lives. One of the most important things that JCCs do is they're able to help understand that context and really build a strong community in which we don't have to just live in our small little bubbling sector, but can actually expand and increasingly expand and find a place where we can have a much larger community, a much larger place where we can call home. A place where even though the dynamics of the world may be towards isolation and division, the JCC actually works as a countervailing force to build connection and community and a sense of who we are, all as one. And so when we think about the challenges that we face, when we think about the world in which we are living today, and the many challenges and opportunities that we'll be facing over the coming years, the JCC plays a unique role in helping guide and shape that. And that we have seen that through the continued evolution of what JCCs are. Right? As was noted, it's not simply a building or an infrastructure that it absolutely is that. And we are in one right now. But it's the programs that it delivers outside of that. It's the people that it brings together. It's the broader context in which it helps shape the world in which we all live. And so as we look forward, as we think about kind of the opportunities and the changes that we're going to be living with and in over the next couple of years, and that our kids will be living in the next several years and decades, I know that the JCCs and this JCC will be there to help create a sense of connection and community. And for that, I'm personally incredibly grateful, and I know from a federation perspective, we are eternally grateful for what the JCC does. Over the coming years, I expect, and I know that that connection, our bond and our working together will only increase. And Jeff later on will talk about one of the initiatives that we're going to be launching together, but that's not the only part of it, because when there are two organizations who see that they have a common destiny and common direction, no matter what happens, no matter how the world evolves, we'll be continuing to work together. So I want to thank all of you for your leadership. I want to thank Brett for his presidency over the past 2 years during not easy times. And I really want to thank everything that everyone here has done already, and that I know we'll all be doing together over the next years to come. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Gil. We are grateful for the vision you bring to the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington, and more importantly, for the enduring partnership between Federation and the Pozez JCC. The remarks remind us that while our work happens here in Northern Virginia, we are part of a much larger, vibrant tapestry of Jewish life across the entire region. The President's Recognition Award, established in 2009, is our way of honoring an individual whose exceptional work has been instrumental in helping the J fulfill its mission. This year's honoree has not only been an inspiration and a mentor to several of the JCC presidents over the years, including myself, but I'm very proud to say he's also a landsman of mine. Our 2026 President's Recognition Award recipient is Alon Schiff. Alon's involvement at the J goes back at least a couple of decades. He chaired the search committee which brought Jeff here and served as president for Jeff's first 2 years. Alon then agreed to chair the committee which researched and developed our Vision 2020 strategic plan and helped kickstart its implementation. He and BJ were amongst the 3 couples who chaired our capital campaign of 2015 to 2018, which helped to pay for the extensive renovation of our building, including the entrance hall, community room, gym, this auditorium, and the Cultural Arts Center building. Alon is an avid user of the J, so when it came to revamping JFit, he was able to share his first-hand experience as to what was needed to improve our health and fitness center. Then Alon moved focus to GMU Hillel, where he served on the board and was president. Working with the board and its director, Rabbi Daniel Novik, Alon helped make GMU Hillel one of the nation's most renowned. Alon, you have been unstinting in your support of our Northern Virginia Jewish community and have always made it possible for every institution that you have touched to ascend several rungs further up the ladder of success. It is truly my delight to invite Alon to the podium as we celebrate his ongoing commitment and dedication with this well-deserved award.
Turned it down to 1 page. To start off with, it is a pleasure to be acknowledged by someone from my part of the world. So you've got a South African and a Zimbabwean on stage. Or African Americans, if you wanted to be more specific. Over the past few days, I've been thinking a bit about this evening and about our community's village green, the Pozez JCC. Most of my thoughts and sentiments boil down to a sense of gratitude for having an open, friendly, and active community center. community that cares for everyone, a community which connects us Jewishly as we travel from early childhood through school and university into being working adults and then senior citizens, and a community which supports those in need, and a really cool fitness center. Making this happen day after day and year after year takes a ton of resources and work. I am really grateful to the staff who invest their lives in making this an amazing community village green. Thank you. I'm also grateful to this board and past boards who invested their time and funds to support and help direct the J. And I am thankful to others in the community, like Federation, the Pozez family, and others who've stepped forward to support our village green in most important financial ways. And lastly, I'd like to thank Rabbi Isserow for his tenure as board president and for this acknowledgement. I'm really grateful. In closing, I ask you to think about how fortunate we are to have this J to call our village green. May it continue from strength to strength and go from generation to generation. Thank you.
I know there are those who are going to say, I learned from Zimbabwe, and I'm from South Africa. How can I call him a landsman? Well, I'll explain. First of all, as a kid, I spent a lot of time up in Zimbabwe because they were Rhodesia. And second of all, there are more Jews in Northern Virginia than there are in the whole of Africa. So I claim anybody from Southern Africa, as a landsman. I would now like to invite Debbie Kessler forward to the podium to present this year's honoree with the Eleanor Sue Finkelstein Award.
The Eleanor Sue Finkelstein Award for Service to the Disability Community is presented each year to a champion in our community who pours their heart into supporting and advocating for individuals with disabilities in Northern Virginia. The extraordinary woman for whom this award is named, Ellie Finkelstein, was one of the JCC's founding pillars alongside her husband, Ben, who's here with us tonight. Together, they helped plant the seeds for the inclusive center we enjoy today. Ellie held a deep belief that the J should be a place where everyone truly belongs, and she pushed passionately for us to create a high-quality programming for individuals with disabilities. In honor of Ellie's beautiful spirit and lasting impact, it is our privilege to present this year's award to Lucy Bednell. Lucy is the Director of Advocacy at the ARC of Northern Virginia, where she has led justice-focused advocacy since 2010 and on behalf of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families. She has helped secure improved funding and services at the local and state levels and oversees the organization's information and referral program, which provides individual guidance and no-cost support to more than 4,000 families each year. She also organizes an annual Advocacy Day in Richmond. It connects self-advocates and families directly with legislators during the General Assembly. Lucy has advanced major policy reforms that improve rights and outcomes for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. A sought-after speaker, she regularly presents disability, advocacy, and social justice issues, recognizing growing concerns around the interactions between individuals with intellectual development disabilities and the criminal justice system. Lucy has launched a comprehensive initiative focused on safer encounters with first responders. She developed crisis response resources, created free continuing legal education trainings for defense lawyers, and expanded accessible tools for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families, on topics including 911 calls, police interactions, and emergency self-advocacy. Working with stakeholders across Virginia, Lucy helped advance reforms including the Marcus Alert Act, expanded dismissal options for nonviolent offenders with autism or intellectual disabilities, de-escalation training mandates, and funding for mental health co-responder programs. She also partnered with Fairfax and Arlington County Police to develop disability safety trainings that have prepared hundreds of first responders and more than 1,200 individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities for safer and more effective interactions during emergency. It is for this enduring dedication to inclusion and justice that we're proud to honor Lucy with the Eleanor Finkelstein Award.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. One of the things that I have always loved about being a member of the disability community and a granddaughter and a daughter and a wife and a mother of people in the disability community is that we are 1 in 4. We cut across every community, every walk of life, and there's not a day doing this job that I don't get to interact with people who are coming from completely different perspectives, who have powerful stories to share. And it is such a magical way to be able to create the community that we've heard so much about tonight, a place where everyone is welcome to share their voices, to learn about others, and to use their experiences to affect change for the next person down the line. There's a great advocate in Fairfax County who says we're one of the minorities that's always recruiting, right? You can join the disability community at any time, and it's a surprise to some of us, and a welcome surprise to others. It is a place where we want to make sure whenever you become that 1 in 4 or someone you love becomes that 1 in 4, you feel welcome and know that you are safe and you are cherished and you have a place to amplify your voice and make a change for others to make the community better for the next person down the line. So it makes me feel like Ellie's dream is alive and well. Thank you so much.
The Manny Gale Award for Volunteerism is named after my late grandfather, our JCC's 6th president. Along with a dedicated circle of leaders, he worked endless hours to ensure that Northern Virginia would have a Jewish community center to call home. But building the walls was only the beginning. The true lifeblood of the Pozez JCC has always been and continues to be our volunteers. They are the hands and the hearts that allow us to serve this community to its fullest extent. From steering our leadership to enriching our daily programs, volunteers expand our reach, deepen our impact, and bring a unique warmth to everything we do. We simply could not be the vibrant, inclusive center we are without their selfless dedication. It is my honor to present this year's Manny Gale Award for Volunteerism to someone who embodies the spirit of service, Lisa Miller. Has been a member of the Pozez JCC board and executive committee for several years. As secretary, she has that uncanny knack of being able to carefully listen, process, transcribe, and participate in the conversation all at the same time and without the assistance of AI. As a member of the Budget and Finance Committee, Lisa has brought to the J her business acumen and extensive experience, helping to guide the J through the uncertain waters of a post-COVID era. As the J began the process of implementing its strategic repositioning plan, Lisa co-chaired the Social Impact Committee, one of the main pillars of that plan. The committee's discussions helped frame and determine how the J would approach the complex issues of engaging its membership in social impact activities, and how it could coordinate with other institutions in the community to make them all more effective. As a committed supporter of Sunrise Day Camp, the Jays Camp and year-round programming for children with cancer and their siblings, Lisa has served as an inspiration to bring other supporters on board. She's been a long time and enthusiastic promoter of the Jays Adult Services programs. Lisa has also been a high-profile ambassador for the Jay in the wider community. She's been a core memberhood of the Sisterhood of Salam Shalom, a Muslim and Jewish dialogue group that for years carefully shepherded the delicate relationship between members of these two communities. So thank you, Lisa, for your service and your passion, and congratulations on this well-deserved recognition.
Thank you very much. It's really been my pleasure to be a part of the JCC. I found this community 12 years ago when I moved to Northern Virginia, and it bloomed and made my life interesting and crazy and beautiful. And I love the ideas that come out of all of the wonderful people who work at the J, who are staff at the J, and who have helped us grow in so many wonderful ways. And it's our attention to the community that really makes it a very viable and wonderful place, and something to really support and enjoy at the same time. A social environment, a giving environment, and a pleasure to be a member of this community. And I also want to say that there's nothing that could be done in this place without the wonderful staff, that they, with their ideas and their commitment, really add to our ability to, as volunteers, to make things work. So thank you for that, staff.
Mazel tov, Lisa. You definitely bring a sparkle to everything. Thank you. Thank you for affording me the privilege of serving as the president of the board of the JCC, the Pozez JCC, for the past 2 years. I must admit I initially found it a little disconcerting, because for the first month or two after I was elected, I got more condolences than congratulations. The reality, however, is that although like any dynamic organization, we have encountered some characteristic challenges over the past 24 months. This experience has been one of considerable joy and fulfillment. It would not have been possible without the love and support of my family, Ginny, Jesse, and Anna. Thank you for your encouragement, and I realize that you had to patiently bear the burden of my frequent absence, although maybe the word burden is a little more wishful thinking. Over the past 2 years, I've regularly walked through the J, paying more than casual attention to what is happening in the various different spaces that our programs utilize. Seeing our members of all ages and interests participating in the myriad of offerings that happen in this building daily has constantly raised my spirits and made the responsibility of the presidency worthwhile. I did learn very quickly that it is unwise to interrupt the mahjong and card players, and especially the Scrabble folks, even just to say hello. Also, not everybody wants to chat while working out or exhausting themselves on the treadmill or the elliptical. Although most of our members do appreciate being greeted and enjoy a few moments of friendly exchange. One of the absolute highlights for me has been getting to know our fantastic staff. Almost every time I stroll through the building, I try to take a moment or two to chat with every staff member I see. The front desk and security, then all the way along the corridor, only if the doors are open, of course, past the membership office to JFIT. I've learned so much about what it takes to maintain an institution like the J from just these casual conversations. Unlike most places, the J consists of at least half a dozen businesses, all operating under the same roof. Somehow our staff manages to keep the place running smoothly. It is only sometimes when something goes wrong, like the pool filtration plant, the HVAC system, or most recently a plumbing problem which affected the hot water system, that we, the members, suddenly become aware of the disruption. While complaints are mostly justified, wouldn't it be nice if we took the time to thank our staff when things are working well? And then there's the executive suite. Behind that door should be a vast space filled with dozens of people, all of whom drive this organization. Instead, we find a tight, small space with just 8. The dedication and devotion and energy that every member of our senior staff pours into this organization is mind-blowing. I could easily spend the rest of the evening detailing each of their contributions, but even if I did it collectively, it would still take too long. There's a traditional Zulu greeting, Sawubona. It means, I see you. It is a recognition of everything that a person is, an acknowledgement and an appreciation of their existence, dignity, being, everything that they encompass and their contribution to the world. To each of you, I say, Sawubona. Thank you with all my heart. It takes a very special skill to manage the J. Not only do you have to be versatile and mentally agile, but also unflappable, and have patience and understanding, and above all, still be nice to the membership. We are most fortunate to have as our CEO, Jeff Dannick, who not only satisfies all those requirements, but also creatively inspires his staff and the board to reach well beyond their normal limits. Jeff and I have been friends for a long while, but over the past 2 years, that relationship has deepened. It is one of the takeaways from this experience that I really do treasure. Thank you, Jeff, for always being there and encouraging me to step up in the first place. Thank you also for challenging me to dream bigger, to see the larger picture, as well as for talking me off the ledge when I needed it. This presidency is not a responsibility that I had to assume alone. I honestly hope that every member of the J appreciates the work of the members of our board and the work that they do month in and month out. They serve conscientiously, contribute their time and energy, their knowledge and experience, and their largesse, all to make our J the best place it can be. Whether they head up committees, voice constructive concerns at meetings, support our programs, or do the dozens of other things we ask of them, the members of our board truly deserve our thanks. Please accept a virtual hug of gratitude from me. I could not have done this without you, and that goes especially for our past presidents, who are always happy to share their wisdom and experience and lend a guiding hand. I opened by thanking all of you for the privilege of allowing me to serve the J. And I close by thanking you again for your membership, support, and contributions of all sorts to the J. This institution relies on its members for success. And if we want to see our J get stronger and continue to flourish, it is our responsibility to provide the funds that make that happen. Whether through an annual gift or legacy giving, however you can help will make a difference. Your help in whatever form it comes will not be taken for granted and will be much appreciated. Those gifts will ensure that future generations will enjoy the same sense of community that we have come to cherish. We still have work to do. Together may our hearts and hands and heads realize our dream of all that the J can come to be. Thank you.
That was a very moving speech, but I have to warn you that the reward for being present for 2 years is then you have to run the long, tedious part of the annual meeting. So thank you for leading with such dedication over the last 2 years. Our strength as an organization relies on leaders who step forward to steer our vision, and that legacy of service continues tonight. Not only with the officers, but with all the award winners, Yashiko, all the award winners. It's now my honor, I use that word advisedly, to transition the meeting to the election and installation of the fiscal year 2027 officers and board of directors who will guide our community into the future. We are pleased to present candidates for the board who support the vision and personify the values of our JCC. The vision slide. It's the leadership of the board and the staff, and I want to echo the people who thank the staff. The staff is amazing and really make today what it is. The leadership of the board and the staff with input from the community that helps guide the vision and support the activities that fuel the JCC. The proposed slate of new and continuing board members and officers presented to the membership tonight have been approved by the board. Each is committed to carrying out our vision in hopes of ensuring a great future for our JCC. The proposed officers for fiscal year 2027 are, and I ask you to stand as your name is being read. President Lenitra Berger, she is out of town. I believe she is in Africa. Venice, okay, close enough. She's also a long speaker. VPs Dale Bear and Ed Weiss. Secretary David Yaffe. Treasurer Sam Pozez. Assistant Treasurer Matthew Berger. And at-large Len Friedman and Andy Araber. This year, we are pleased to nominate the following current board members for additional 3-year terms. Dale Bear, Len Friedman, Andy Garable, Susan Cohn, Tamir Linhart. The proposed new members of the board are up for election in fiscal year, I don't know why, I'm the only one that has to say fiscal year, and I'm saying that 5 times. Please stand after David Gelfond. And David Schneider. Now we actually have to vote to elect the officers and the board. Is there a motion to accept these nominations as put forward?
So moved. Second.
Is there a second? Thank you. I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstaining? All right, the motion is passed. There's no gift to hand out to the recipients. Your gift is your attendance at all the board meetings. Before I install our new board, on behalf of the JCC, I would like to thank our outgoing members. Linda Belair, who's not able to be here tonight, was a board member for 11 years and contributed enormous amounts to the activity and the vision of the board. And Lisa Miller, who you saw earlier, has been a board member since 2016, and her volunteer service and contributions have been extraordinary. Lisa was the secretary when I was the president, and it was a godsend. So, Linda and Lisa, you are officially discharged from your responsibilities as members from the board. Thank you again. And now it's my pleasure to present the new board for fiscal year 2027. All directors, please rise and be recognized. On behalf of the entire community, thank you for your commitment and your dedication to the JCC. Your leadership on the board serves as a foundation that allows us to continue our work of building community and enriching the lives of those we serve in Northern Virginia. We thank you for your service and for the expertise you bring to this mission. And now I would like to invite this guy, Jeff Dannick, who's been here for 15 years, to put it.
Thank you, Bill. I'll say fiscal year as well, so you don't feel so lonely. Before I begin my remarks, I'd like to ask Brett to come up one more time. To accept a small token of our collective appreciation for his service as president, and to personally thank him for his friendship and all of the support he's provided. Brett. So I want to echo the applause for all of our board members, both current and past, and I see a number of past board members in the audience as well. There's been a lot of shout outs for the staff tonight, which I really appreciate. But the board, they pay us to do that work. They dedicate themselves with their time, with their treasure. I want to say it's a thankless job, but fortunately we get to thank you every once in a while, including tonight. So one last round of applause, please, for our board. And really excited to welcome David and David. The Leadership Development Committee this year decided that we would go for like a very narrow niche community. David Yaffe is going to continue to serve on the board as a past president. And you were the top two Davids that we were able to identify in the community. So I'm really happy that you're here with us. So the annual meeting is a chance for all of us that you've seen tonight to reflect on the last year or a couple of years and to think about what's ahead. So I want to start with a little bit about last year. It was a challenging year. Actually, the last 5 years have been kind of challenging. And you've already heard about some of the more concrete challenges we've had with some of our facility issues and our systems, and yes, the hot water issue. I had a note to mention the hot water as well. So, but I'm going to go off script and just give an extra shout out to Heidi Palchik, who is our Senior Director of Operations. I will pay for this later, but Heidi, in addition to orchestrating the annual meeting, has been operating with short staff. We've had some transitions in staff. We're doing some interviewing now, but she's been holding this place together almost single-handedly in a lot of ways. So Heidi, I don't know what we would do without you, so thank you. Other challenges, as you've heard in the appeals for financial support, the financial challenges coming out of COVID continue. We are making progress. Our membership is now at pre-COVID levels and above, so we were able to recover from that downturn. But we've got work to do. We're still operating in a deficit posture, and we're hoping to get to break even, if not this coming year, then certainly by the following year. So you'll be hearing from us with all kinds of wonderful justifications for why you all should continue to support the J. And not only that, but tell your friends that they should support the J as well. But beyond the challenges that we have here, there are some global challenges you may be aware of. The ongoing wars both in Ukraine and in the Middle East, surging anti-Semitism, and polarizing politics here and elsewhere around the world. They all take their toll on us as a community. They take their toll on us as individuals working at the J, volunteering at the J. But this is a place where we can all come together and lock arms and battle the challenges that we face as a world, as a society, and remember that the Jewish people are here to improve the world, to perfect the world, and we all have to do our little part. So even though the challenges have been daunting, the fact that we're all doing our best work together is reassuring. I also want to say that the way that we come together in the face of adversity, and the way that we come together when we disagree with one another and have respectful conversations about our disagreements, that's what it means to be a community. And it's particularly what it means to be a Jewish community, because you may not know this, but there are oftentimes differing opinions about things in the Jewish community. And although I know that my wife is usually right when she and I disagree, I don't have as clear guidance sometimes in the rest of the world. So glad that we're in this together. So going forward into fiscal year 2027, or as Brett says, financial year 2027. The F is very confusing, and he's from South Africa. We're going to continue to build the programming that we have here with our amazing staff. We're going to continue to grow our membership and continue to reach out beyond our walls into the community. We are in the process of, you may have noticed it on your program, and you've probably seen it in your emails. When we think about a JCC, we think about a Jewish Community Center, but more and more we think about a Jewish Community Connector. And so our focus is to serve the people that come into this building to the greatest extent that we can, but to reach beyond the walls of this building and to make sure that we are trying to serve the entire Jewish community of Northern Virginia, which is quite large. You may not realize it, but it's very large and it's very spread out. And I've also heard that there are occasionally traffic issues. So getting around Northern Virginia is not so easy. But we are determined to seek out community wherever we can find it and to find new and creative ways to engage. And you've got a little bit of a hint of this with Gil Bruce's remarks. But we are about to announce, there'll be a press release going out very soon, announce the launch of something called J-Live. We're doing this in partnership with Federation. And J-Live is a program, really a platform, that was developed by the communities of Detroit and Montreal to try to make everything that's happening in the Jewish community easily accessible, searchable, and easy to sign up for, and then easy to tell your friends what you're doing and encourage them to come. So the first step is that we're going to be going to our synagogues and our other Jewish institutions in Northern Virginia, and in some cases DC and Maryland, and asking them to be partners in J-Live and to post their events on the platform. And then we're going to be launching publicly an awareness campaign for the entire community to become aware of J-Live and to figure out how they can go and find out how to do Jewish, however it is they want to do it. And our goal is to have this up and running in time for Hanukkah. So stay tuned for more details, but it's going to be a really, really transformational initiative here in Northern Virginia, something that I and the staff and the board have been working on probably about 3.5 years. Took a little longer than I hoped it would, but it's happening, and we're really excited about it. We have another initiative that has only been percolating for a number of months now, although the root of it goes back probably more than a decade, and that is a program that we are currently titling Parenting Together, and the working title is also a Parenting Center Without Walls. We do a lot of work with young families, and many times, or most times, those initiatives focus on the kids or focus on the entire family. Well, what we've identified is a need in the community to support parents. And by parents, we are using that term to include parents, grandparents, caregivers, nannies, surrogates. There are so many different structures of a family unit and so many different ways that children are supported in their growing up. And we want to try to provide some guidance and some support for that. You'll hear more about that as we get ready to roll it out, but it's a really exciting new initiative that is a great complement to the Early Childhood Learning Center and camp and other programs that we do here in the building, and the J Family Ambassador and Early Jewish Families programs that we have out in the community. So that's another big thing that is very early in its development, but it will be rolling out this year. And the last thing I want to say about the coming year is we're going to continue our focus on creating as big a tent as possible for this Jewish community. Those of you who know the story of Abraham and his tent, the idea was his tent was open on 4 sides and everybody was welcome in that tent. And that's the level of hospitality that we want to have here at the J and throughout Northern Virginia. We have a very large Jewish community, and it's very diverse. And we want to be welcoming to the entire spectrum of that community. And we want to engage people of all faiths, or people of no faith, because we can't survive on our own. Anti-Semitism is not up to the Jews to solve. Anti-Semitism has to be addressed by the broader community. And so the more that we can be ambassadors to the broader community and demonstrate how welcoming we are as a community, the more we will be able to live in peace with one another. So we're going to seek ways to broaden that tent. We're going to seek ways to give people opportunities to express their Jewish values, to live and find Jewish joy in everything that we do. And that's really what the J is about. I'm particularly excited to welcome Lenitra Berger as the incoming president. You're going to get to know Lenitra a little bit through a video because she is, as we've already heard, is in Venice. Lenitra is a very, very special person. And I think that this transition of presidency from an emeritus rabbi from Bethel to a Lutheran member of an interfaith family raising their children Jewishly, that is a great way to sort of envision the size and complexity of this tent that we call our Jewish community. So with that, where's Jean? I probably skipped the cue line.
Hello, everyone.
There you go.
Is Lenitra Berger, and I am the incoming board chair of the Pozez JCC. I've been involved with the J for almost 15 years. I started here as a parent with my son in the ECLC. I've taught classes in the Adult Learning Institute. I've enjoyed the facilities at the gym and the pool, and I've been on the board for almost 5 years now. It is my honor to serve as the incoming board chair of the J. I plan to represent all of our members' diverse needs, and I'm committed to leading with Jewish values. The Pozez JCC is a safe and welcoming place for all Jews and anyone on a Jewish journey. I believe that now is the most important time for the JCCs to thrive because they celebrate Jewish identity and make meaningful contributions to their surrounding communities. Heading into the Jay's 50th year, it's important that we come together as a community to show our support for the Jay and the role it plays in Jewish life in Northern Virginia. I look forward to getting to know all of our members and to serving this wonderful community.
Those of you who know Lenitra know how special she is, and those of you who don't are going to have a really great chance to get to know her over the next couple of years. And as you heard, Lenitra's connectivity initially came through her children in the preschool. And if we go back to our most recent strategic plan, which David Yaffe chaired the committee of, you'll know that the focus on raising young children in a Jewish environment is the primary pillar of the work that we are doing. So I think that it's fitting that Lenitra coming in as president comes in on the heels of her kids growing up here at the JCC. And in that spirit of focus on children, it is my pleasure to present the Susie Goldhammer Award for Service to Children and Youth. This honor is normally given to, the honor of presenting is normally given to Amy Brinko, my associate exec, who fortunately for her, unfortunately for us, is on vacation this week. So I get to carry some double duty, but Amy also is a key member of our staff and integral to the work that we do. Now, Susie Goldhammer was a very special past president of our J. Her passion for building our JCC was so strong that after guiding us through her term as president, she joined our staff as assistant director. Brett, that's not a requirement for okay, also, Susie lost her health battle, and the community wanted to honor her deep commitment that she poured into her work, and thus the J established the Susie Goldhammer Award for Service to Children and Youth in her memory. The award provides an opportunity for us to recognize a dedicated staff member and honor Susie's spirit and dedication to our community. This year it is my sincere pleasure to present this meaningful award to Joellen Chris Burbelo, our Director of Sunrise Day Camp, Greater Washington. Joellen's life and work have long been defined by care, dedication, and service to young people. Her very first babysitting job at age 12, from her very first babysitting job at age 12 to becoming a founding staff member at Sunrise Day Camp on Long Island, New York as a teen, the original Sunrise. It was clear early on that she had a special gift for connecting with children and helping them feel seen, supported, and valued. That dedication has only deepened over the years. Joellen earned both her bachelor's degree in history and her master's degree in teaching from American University, and she has built a career in education that shapes young lives every day. As a 7th grade history teacher in Alexandria City Public Schools, she brings her knowledge, heart, and deep belief in the potential of every student, all the while using her nights and weekends to begin planning for the summer camp season. And when the school year ends, Joellen's commitment continues as she serves as the director of Sunrise Day Camp Greater Washington here at the Pozez JCC. In that capacity, she brings joy in the simplicity of childhood experiences to children facing cancer, as well as their siblings, while many public school educators say goodbye to their students and look forward to a summer of relaxation and rejuvenation. Joellen rolls right into camp staff orientation and preparation for the beginning of the camp season. There are no skip beats or downtime for Joellen. It's onward and upward to her favorite time of year, summer camp. Joellen's spirit, energy, humor, dedication, and love are woven into every day at camp. She leads with curiosity, conviction, and purpose, and makes a positive impact on the lives of the children and families she serves on a daily basis. This work is heart work. It's also hard work, but it's heart work. And nobody does it better than our very own Joellen. This is exactly the kind of devotion that Susie Goldhammer Award was created to honor, a deep and lasting dedication to children and youth. And so with great admiration and gratitude, please join me in celebrating Joellen Burbelo recipient of this year's Susie Goldhammer Award.
Hi, everyone. Just want to give a quick shout out to my family. We got off a plane from Orlando like 3 hours ago. And they're all here supporting me, and they're amazing, and I can't do anything without them, so shout out to them. They're up in the back, they chose the seats. So, this is my first award ever, and I'm delighted. Very, very delighted. I'm the oldest of 4 kids, and I just had a birthday, so when I counted it up, I think I've been working with kids now for like 35 years, and it's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. No shade to people who don't work with kids, but like, why? The best job I ever had though was working at Sunrise Day Camp on Long Island. The best job as a counselor in various roles through the year, and it's truly one of the greatest honors of my life to be able to lead Sunrise Day Camp here at the J. And so to be honored for that work by my peers, it means more than I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joelle. So as you've heard, we have an extraordinary staff. We are very lucky to have each and every one of them here at the J. Every day their passion to build community and rich lives is seen in the positive experiences they create for those who walk through our doors and to attend programs throughout Northern Virginia. Please join me in congratulating each of the following employees for reaching a milestone anniversary and for doing their part to help the J be the warm, welcoming organization guided by Jewish values that it is. We appreciate their ongoing commitment to serving the J and the community with passion and pride. Please join me at the podium as your name is called. For 5 years of service, Greg Feitel, School Age Services Director. Trina Stevens, Guest Service Associate. She wasn't able to be here. Okay. We'll give Trina's gift to Greg. You can have 2 gifts. Okay. For 10 years of service, Sarah Berry, Bodson Art Gallery, Florida. Sarah also previously served as the Pozez JCC Arts and Ideas Director, Cultural Arts Director, and a long time ago, back when she was a teen, helping staff our after-school program.
With Greg.
With Greg. A little reunion going on stage. For 15 years of service.
It's my pleasure to razz you a little bit. Okay. It's my pleasure to recognize a leader whose impact on our community extends far beyond the walls of this building. 15 very long years ago, Jeff Dannick took on the role of Executive Director of Pozez JCC Community Center. Since then, he's guided the J through a period of remarkable growth, transformation, and challenge, always with a clear focus on strengthening community and creating meaningful connections among people. Under Jeff's leadership, the J expanded its reach throughout Northern Virginia, welcoming not only the Jewish community, but also fostering partnerships across the broader community and with Jewish organizations throughout the region. He consistently championed that it's more than a building, going out into the community to meet them where they are. It's a gathering place, a resource, and a home for people of all backgrounds. The Village Green. During his tenure, Jeff's led a successful $10 million capital campaign that's transformed this campus, creating a vibrant new lobby. For those of you who remember the old lobby, it is a vibrant new lobby. It still is. An expanded performance and activity space in which you're sitting, including the raised seats. And a modern fitness center that serves thousands of members every year, except at 6:30 in the morning. There are just a few of us in the room. We know that. He successfully navigated some of the most difficult moments our J has faced and has guided the J through the COVID pandemic and other challenges. He's ensured that early childhood education, camps, fitness programs, and community services continued through innovative virtual programming while keeping our community connected when connection mattered most. Today, thanks in part to that leadership, the J enjoys the strongest membership levels in its history. Page 1 of 17. Jeff also led the organization through challenging security incidents, including acts of vandalism, always balancing diligence with a commitment to remaining open, welcoming, and true to the values that define our community. In recent fiscal years, he helped bring Sunrise Day Camp to Northern Virginia, providing unforgettable experiences for children with cancer and their siblings, further expanding the JCC's impact on families who need support the most. And following the events of October 7th, Jeff helped bring together one of the largest gatherings of the Northern Virginia Jewish community in decades, creating a space for solidarity, healing, and strength when our community needed it the most. Perhaps what best defines Jeff's leadership is that even after 15 years of accomplishments, he remains focused on the future. We heard a little bit about that this evening. His vision continues to extend beyond this campus and into the broader Northern Virginia community, seeking ways to connect people, build partnerships, and ensure that the JCC remains a source of engagement, support, and belonging for generations to come. So please, join me in celebrating 15 years, that's a decade and a half, of extraordinary leadership and service, and recognizing and celebrating our Executive Director of the Pozez JCC of Northern Virginia, Jeff Dannick.
Show of hands, how many people want me to open this? Let's see what we got.
Wow. Alon, thank you. Heidi, you're very sneaky. We had a rehearsal earlier. We got to, for 15 years of service, and I just said me, and didn't know what else we were going to do, and Heidi was like, don't worry about it. Really, I'm sort of stunned. Thank you. Felt very much like a speech that you would give when someone retires. So I guess I'm going to have to announce that I will be retiring from the Pozez JCC sometime in the next 10 years. Thank you. Wow. Okay. One correction though. Marcia and I were actually on vacation during October 7th. And the event that was brought together here with 900 plus people and another couple hundred online was orchestrated by Amy Brinko, Heidi Palchik, Dean Baghdadi, and the entire force of the Pozez JCC staff. And I was miles away, just wishing that I was here to be with them. But shout out to the team for taking that. And now back to the script. For 20 years of service, Tracy Hartman, fitness administrator, and Tracy has also served in positions in the Early Childhood Learning Center and as a camp yoga instructor. Thank you, Tracy. And last but certainly not least, for 30 years of service, Matt Alvin, fitness facilities manager. So Matt's been here 30 years. He's told all of us that the only way he's ever leaving the J is if we carry him out. And he doesn't ask for much, although he's particular about his parking spot. He has a favorite place that he likes to park, and he gets very upset. Very upset. Nobody wants to see Matt when he's if anybody parks in his spot. So we have a small gift for him. And I'm going to ask him, since I opened my gift, he has to open his gift. So when Matt's here 35 years, he's going to get a post. And for his 40th year, we're going to install it.
I've been here a long time. What's funny is I look around the room and there's a lot of people here. What I've noticed since day one, people that I met along the way. And it's funny because I say to people, it's like, you know, I'll be here, we'll move on to another job. And I watch the kids grow up from little to graduate to whatever. College they go on, and parents here move on. Of course, there's people that I watch that I still work with it. Anyway, people that were my clients and my friends, fortunately you hear that when you have, you see all these people, you know, even if you didn't really know them as well, but you have to watch them when he gets older. My mother turns 90 this year. You know, my father passed away during COVID, not from COVID, but it puts things in different perspective. It's like I never understood, it's like my grandma. She was born in 1899. Lived to be 103 and a half. And I wrote a paper on her for college. It's like I never really thought about asking people certain things. So I asked her, it's like, I mean, what do you remember? Getting the right to vote, World War I, World War II, I mean, just down the line. And I asked my mom something, because I never thought of this. I said, do you remember World War II? She's like, sure. She was like 6. So I always think it's grateful when you have the people here. It's just, depending on your age and who you are, it's like, well, what can I ask somebody? They can tell me that it's older than me, 57. But when I work with clients, I have clients that are 84 years old. What can you tell me? And a lot of these people that are here, they're from here. So they tell me the stories like where this was just farmland, you understand? Where all there was that house. Whereas they would go, like going to Manassas was an all-day trip. It's interesting, and it just, for people that have been here, for a long time, to see where we've come. Even for me, I've been here since 1996. I remember what the building was, and and I kind of wish I knew then what I know now, because I think we could have made the building even better then, and be even further now. But I'm happy to be here. I'll continue to be here until, like he says, whenever. I'll last in a few people here, but it's just, this is my job. My people, my members, my friends, my wife, my son. I can't believe it.
I don't have anything I can add to that except to say this is community. And very exciting news for all of you. There's dessert in the lobby. Thank you all for coming to our annual meeting. See you in the lobby.